Reddit by Reddit recap. What's the dumbest thing you have ever said on a date? Blurble 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 followed by a hanging of my head in shame. Backstory. The girl asked me if I watched Round the Twist as a kid. At the same moment I had took a fine big gulp from a pint of Guinness. I was in so much of a hurry to answer I forgot to swallow. Just the mental image of your mouth opening really widely to answer and nothing but Guinness deciding to be the reply has really given me the giggles. Visiting Manhattan. Watching a Rangers game in a bar by myself. Cute girl comes up and starts chatting with me. Mentions that she's Dominican. I don't remember my exact words but I somehow brought up cholera in the first 30 seconds and that was that. So, do you have cholera? Poto? Puto? I was at my ex-girlfriend's house and she broke up with me. I pretty much begged. And while begging, used a phrase that will haunt my manhood and the manhood of every man in existence. I used a phrase that should only be used for the most manly of times. Put me back in the game, coach. I've since grown bigger balls. Dude. This made me laugh much more than the original comment. Was out with this girl once. She asked me what my opinion was towards tattoos. Said something like this. In my opinion it's fine as long as it's not barbed wire, tribal or names dates. She had her parents' names tattooed on her arm. Which I didn't notice till after I said it. Dude. Be true to yourself. Last girlfriend and I, short-term relationship, broke up over a tattoo she was getting. This makes me feel better so thanks. Wanting to compliment on my date's intelligence I said. I have met stupider girls than you. So you are really okay. First one that actually made me cringe. Oh the awkward. How about I like talking to you because you're not too smart. You're just the right level of intelligence. More of a comment to a girl at a party. I walked out to the patio where she was sitting on the floor. I have big clumsy feet. So naturally I kicked over her drink and spilt it all over her crotch on accident. She says. "Oh you got me all wet." I reply. "I just met you and I got you all wet already." She then points to a man in the corner and says. Yeah that's my boyfriend over there." I laughed at my own joke. No one else laughed. I showed myself out. As you were leaving, spaghetti fell from the hole in your pocket, down your pant leg and out all over the floor as you were walking out. This was more just me hanging out with a girl I had been dating for a little while. We were talking and she brought up the fact that her biological father was a sperm donor. We had already talked about this before and I didn't really have anything particular to keep that conversation going besides that really increases your chances of accidental incest. You know. If someone said that to me I'd laugh my ass off. Accidental is the third hottest kind of incest. This is something I said and did. But it definitely fits the theme. So I met a girl. Went on a date. Everything was pretty standard. I got way too drunk. But somehow charmed this girl into bed. We were getting down to business when I felt that she had an Uva ring. Which I then proceeded to pull out of her and throw onto my erection while saying throw the ring. Win a prize like some sort of carnival game guy. Needless to say, she was immediately turned off. We didn't end up completing the deed. She kicked me out. And we never spoke again. TLDR. Don't pretend to play carnival games with birth control devices. As a follow-up to this, another one of the dumbest things I've ever said on a date was repeating this story to my date. Double or nothing. First date and the lovely lady and I get the bright idea to go to a Russian themed vodka bar called Red Square. $30 buys like a craft of infused vodka and a plate of sliced pickles. Anyway it was going well and we're definitely invading each other's personal space. I'm getting lushed and sloshed and start to realize that in the marathon that is a night of intense drinking I was sprinting out of the gates and fading fast. You know I just cleaned my bathroom for the first time in like 3 months. The piss stains on that toilet were formidable. So it's clean now. If you wanted to comb me over the end you had to use the bathroom it'd be clean now. My bathroom is clean. In the ensuing awkward pause she scooted about 6 inches away from me. And it was a 6 inches I would never recover. So, your profile picture, was that your sister or something? You didn't. 44RDV4RK has 2 4s. Edit. At the beginning. Yes. Accidentally counting. This was said to me. But it fits. Met a guy on vacation. Chatted online for a while. Liked each other. Decided to have our first real date. While eating. Guy told me a story about the time his father shoved a cat in a pillowcase and slammed it into the pavement until it went retarded. Told him his story was horrible and to stop talking. He apologized. Tried to make me feel better by reassuring me that afterwards. His father bashed its head in with a shovel. Bro. That's how serial killers are made. How do you know he isn't one? Wasn't on a date. But when I first met my girlfriend, I blurted out, "You're really good looking for a Filipina." I still cringe remembering that. When I was 16 I was on a date and in an attempt to be funny, because you know, girls like funny guys, I racked my brain trying to come up with a funny story. The first thing to pop up in my mind was a story a friend had once told me. About a jacket he had seen one of his girlfriends wearing. The brand was Identity. And the name was displayed centered on the front of the jacket. With the zip splitting the word in half. Identity. Now. To a 16-year-old guy's mind. That is hilarious. A girl walking around with the word titty. Basically labeling her titties. PFTFCHCH. So I told the story and started laughing. She looks up at me with a completely numb face. And then looks down at her jacket. This was 2 hours or so into the date. I hadn't noticed that she was wearing the exact jacket I was making fun of. Yeah. An identity crisis. Just the one. Actually. It wasn't a date per se. But very early on in my relationship with my ex we were on the train from CT to NY and sitting across the aisle from us was a young woman with an adorable puppy. After my ex let out an audible AWW. I somehow managed to say I love ducking dogs instead of I ducking love dogs. His response was, "Do I need to hold you back?" I saw something similar in a green text on 4chan once. It was about a guy playing volleyball and managed to punch the ball really hard into a girl's face. He could not decide whether to say "I'm ducking sorry" or "Are you okay?" So he said, "Are you ducking sorry?" I laughed so hard ducking. "Hey look, you have a nervous tick." "Oh. It's getting worse." "Bro. That's terribly amazing." Technically the date had finished. And she'd invited me back to her place. While in her room. We were slow dancing. Solid. Deep eye contact. I was going in for the kiss. She was deliberately teasing me by pulling away or brushing my lips with hers. Had her fingers in my hair. I had my nails running down her back. The sexual tension was like electricity in the air. She leans forward. Kisses my neck and whispers in my ear, "Have you ever had to work this hard before?" Yes. It's not work when you're that beautiful. This guy. He knows his shit. When I was 17 a girl messaged me on MySpace wanting to hang out. Though she was pretty cute so I agreed to meet her for some games at her place which her family joined in on. She had on a shirt with really short sleeves revealing a few horizontal parallel lines just below her shoulder. Wanting to make light conversation and being the funny guy that I am. I asked, "Where do you get those cuts on your arms? Do you cut yourself?" As soon as I finished cracking that joke, my sheltered Utah childhood came crashing down around me as I realized that people actually did do that. And I just called one out right in front of her family. Tell us the aftermath. After realizing what I'd done my mind went racing for any kind of recovery statement but I kept drawing blanks. The girl I was with started to say something but her sister, who apparently knew about her cutting, cut her off with bear attack. She fought off a bear, which spurred some awkward yet genuine laughs and gave the conversation enough of a spin to hightail it onto another subject. We finished the game and oddly enough she called me again. But what the people really want to know, we never ended up having sex. One time I was kind of on a hangout date with a girl and we were watching a movie over at my apartment. We were holding hands and she started innocently stroking my arm. She asks, how do you get your skin so soft without missing a beat? I reply with a whisper, I bathe in virgin's blood. Later I found out that she was, in fact, a virgin. Hey guys, I found the serial killer. Later I found out that she was, in fact, a virgin. Well, that's convenient. I've been running low on my body scrub. Early on with my now ex, we're fooling around. She liked to talk dirty. She's really good at it, or maybe I'm just really easy. Anyways, each time she says something I feel the need to respond. It got her going. This has been going for a while and honestly, I'm running out of ideas fast. Only enough blood to run one organ at a time, ladies. Long story short, she goes, I want you inside me. And me fumbling around trying to quickly think of something to push this perfect moment over the edge attempted to say something along the lines, I want to be inside you. Only sexier. Okay, not really, but instead it came out, I want your coke. Holy shit. I have never wanted to just die and fade from existence anymore in my entire life. She on the other hand pushes me back a bit off her, stares into my eyes and laughs uncontrollably for I'd say a good 20-30 minutes. That pretty much ended my chances for that night and many to come. You aren't the only one, man. Mine happened mid-coitus. She was talking dirty using the I love your coke inside me. Feels so good. Yada yada yada, you get the picture. I respond with a good old I love the way your coke feels. Now I realize I had ducked up right around the word coke. So I quickly spit out a list of expletives that culminated with me just yelling Virayaganara at this poor girl. Best comment of the day. I've mostly had long-term relationships with great guys, but have had a few weird dates in between relationships. Going out with someone you don't know is a gamble. You never know what you're going to get. Here are a few of the odd dates. 1. I'm ready to get married, and you're a good candidate. This was a first date with someone I didn't know. 2. Asked me if I wanted to go for a drive after lunch, and ended up taking me to his parents' house and saying, Mom, this the girl I was telling you about. 3. Drove me back to his place without asking, and said he wanted me to meet his roommate who he described as a sexy belly dancer. 4. First date, I forgot my wallet. Second date, I don't carry a wallet. 5. Wore a fanny pack. 6. Said he saw an ex-girlfriend there and asked me to kiss him in order to make her jealous. 7. A stockbroker who spent his first date talking about his ex-wife and brought his buddy from work on the second date. 8. Followed me to the bathroom and told me through the door that he missed me. I was out of his sight for maybe 3 minutes. 8. In a fine dining restaurant, he snapped his fingers for the waiter, got drunk, did a head swivel to check out a woman walking by in a bandaged dress and high heels, threw a fit when I said I didn't want to see him a second time. 9. I had a glass of wine with my meal. He told me he disapproved of alcohol and television. Said when his friends bought him a TV, he didn't talk to them for a year. After we left the restaurant and we each went to our respective cars, I glanced back to see him skipping to his. Yes, that's right, a 5 feet 10 inches grown man, a lawyer wearing a suit, was skipping through the parking lot. Nope and nope.